Welcome. In this tutorial, I will show you how to print in Excel. The information you see on screen is fictional. You may receive a sheet like this and you need to print it. If you go to File, Print, you see that your information will not show in one sheet. So we need to first look at our information. Let's go back to the sheet and see if we need to format anything here. And at first glance, I see that some information is not fitting in the columns. So like this column is too big, too wide. So let's make that smaller. So we can double click in between the columns and it auto fits itself. Let's do the same for C. And I made it bigger. Or we can select the entire sheet on the top left and double click in between the columns, and all of the columns will auto fit themselves. But as you can see here, this information, this column, for example, is too wide. So I would like to make that smaller or narrower. Let's see, this will not fit if I make it smaller. I will not be able to see all of this. That it might not be a problem for you, but if you want to be able to see all of it, we need to wrap the text that's in here. So we select the entire column, go to the top alignment group and select this option ABC, and that will wrap the text. So I like this, so I can actually make it even more narrow. And if we look at the font, this is font 10. So this might be too small for me to read if I print this. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the entire sheet on the top left. And I'm gonna change the font to 12. And now I have this problem here that it's too narrow. So let's make this one bigger. And let's make the entire sheet. Let's zoom out. This H here, it didn't fit in the column. So let's do the double clicking again here. Okay, good. So now everything fits. This first name is too long here. So maybe we need to do wrap the text. Looks like it's already wrapped. Let me see if it is. It isn't. So let's click here. Let's click again. Sometimes you gotta click several times. And now it's wrapped. So that way our columns could be more narrow. Okay. So let's go to the right. Now, the other thing that you want to maybe do is that you might not need all of the columns and you could hide some of the columns for printing. So this is the excluded list. So maybe I don't need to see I'm just, whatever here, a residency date. I could hide it. And then this does have some entries on that one. This graduation date, let's see, it doesn't have any entries, so I'm going to hide it. And some of these titles here, they're too big, so maybe I want to make these titles a little smaller, the font a little smaller. So we could select those and go to the top on font and make this smaller a little more. And then you could narrow these even more. And this is just for the sake of printing. There you go. So this, we could even make it more narrow, and this one too. And remember, you can always wrap the text if you need to. Um, okay, so this might work, but let's go look. So we go to File, Print, and no, we have 30 pages. That's too many. This is not working out. So let's go back. Let's go now to change the orientation, and we do that on Page Layout on the top. Here under Orientation, I'm going to make this landscape. Okay, now the margins, I don't need big margins, so I'm going to make them narrow. And that's always making my text bigger because of what I'm doing. Now let's go back to File, Print, and this looks better, but still 28 pages. This is not working out. So the way you fix this here is that you already changed your orientation, you narrow the margins. Now here is the golden ticket on the bottom option where it says no scaling. So you click that and you are going to select the option that says fit all columns on one page. Now all of your columns are in one page. You can check that by going to the arrow here, to the right arrow, and all of your columns are there. Now, you do see the problem here on the top. Your header is not copying to the next page. So we are going to fix that. So this header needs to be on each page. And I want to put a page number and I want to put a title to this sheet. So let's go back. And to do this, we go back here to Page Layout. And on the Page Setup group, we select Print Titles. And on this screen, in this pop-up, you have your first tab here. And this is the one you need to have your headers repeat. Here under Print Titles, rows to repeat at top. Here is where you want your information. So on the right side, on this arrow up, you click it, and then you select your first row. Okay. Now you go back and select the arrow down, and you can see that it did select the correct row. Now we wanted to put a header and a footer, and we'll start with the header. So my header will say M6 excluded list. So to do that, I go to custom header, and I want it in the middle. So I put M6 excluded list, and I'll put the date, just some date. And I can make this bigger if I wanted to. You go here under 8, and you can change the font, the style, the size. So I will set it bold and do 14 and click OK. So you're good there, and click OK. So now you see it here on the top. Now your footer, you want the page number. So let's go here under custom footer, and I want it on the right side. And here, the second option here, it's insert page number. And here it puts this, and that's gonna put on your page number. So click OK. And you have several options here under footer. So let's click the arrow and see. You can put prepare by Melissa or page 1 printing or page 1 M6 excluded list. There's many options here, but I will do page 1 of question mark. So it will put page 1 of 5 or page 1 of 9. So I like this. So you got your header and you got your footer, And now we click OK. Now let's see what we got. If we go to print, file, print, now you see your sheet name, your header, and your footer. And if you go to the second page, you have the same title and the header and the footer. Page 2 out of 9, and so on. So this is ready to print. You can go to print and you will have all your columns in one page. Thank you for watching.